Hey guys, Mr. J here. Welcome back to another Frostborn video. Alright, so this is season 22 but this is the OBT, so the full version is not out as yet. This is not fully polished. There might be, a little bit of bug and all that. This is the purpose of the OBT, other known as the beta testing. So basically tests to see if there's any, glitches or anything. Because once there is an update, there might be a glitch. So that could be polished out. That's beside the point. As you can see here, there's also a new zone, the Old Heim. And in this zone, it's basically currently on fire. And also there are mobs that you'd have to kill. An open chest. In this zone, you can also get talisman and also the novice lock pick. I don't know what it does, but for the talisman, you'd have to bring it to the skull right here, and you then receive different tiers of reward you can get from the skull right here, which is the first reward is not the best, but I think the last one is kind of it's okay. Also, I was checking my inbox here if there is any hatchets, because you definitely need hatchets for the zone here. You have to bring hatchets to then, I think it's broken wood that kind of is blocking the entrance. You'd have to basically break that and just bring, to open the gate. All right, so as you can see here, this is the skull reward. It just has basic rewards here, and also the other tier, which is the medium skull reward. And the last skull reward, you basically get regular gear. It's not the best, bro. Maybe they will update the reward after the OBT has ended, or maybe they'll let the reward stay. I don't know. All right, so basically you'd have to also visit the Temple of the Ancestors. That is where you'd get yourself, that's where you donate the flowers to then get the season rewards to level up in the season. Also, as you can see here, this is the Shadow Master, which is available free to play at the end of the season. So you'd have to do the season to receive this here. Just to let you know, at the end of the season it won't be available, so I would definitely recommend for you to do the season if you'd like to get this new class here. For the payload player, you could definitely get a mount at the start of the season if you have purchased the premium. And for the free-to-play players, you will definitely also get rewards, but in the pay-to-win section, which is buying the pass, you would definitely get more stuff. Also, this is the small token of Freya. So basically, you get these from the green and also the yellow zone, either forest or a rock location. And as you can see here, there is more rewards. Let me see here. Yeah, it's okay, I guess. You have the large token here of Freya, and so you have different tiers. So you have the blue one, the purple one, and you definitely get those in different location by doing different missions and stuff. We'll definitely look at that. And as you can see at the end of the season here, you have the Shadow Master 3. Also, you could get yourself a legendary bow before you get the Shadow Master 3. And also in the side quest there is the Witch Doctor pet. Well, it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and just check this area out real quick and kill, a couple of mobs here. I don't have any hatchets, bro, so that is unfortunate. I'll just, smoop around and see what's in the zone here, just at the beginning stage here. Not much, to be honest, not much in this zone. I would like to know what's in the well, though. There is a well in the middle of the Old Heim. You'd basically have to get the key for the well. You'd have to kill the giant to also get that. But I don't have a hatchet to actually check it out, so yeah, I'll just leave the zone here because there's not much to do. Yeah, that's about it for the Old Heim here. Right, and for the season here, to get season points, you basically have to turn in the Flower of Life to the Elder in the ancient location. Well, the Temple of Ancestors. To receive yourself the season points, you'd have to turn in those flowers, and you'll then receive season points. Pretty simple and easy, but there might be a challenge because in the green zone, from the chest, it says you can get it from the chest or the mobs. You could basically get the Karn looking thing. You'd basically put that in the altar in the green zone. You'd then receive yourself the reward. Then you could also do the same thing for the other zones, but it is required to get certain rewards. We'll definitely look at that later in the game here. As you can see, there's a warning here that this version of the game it's not a full, it might include bugs and all that. So it's, as I said at the start of the video, it's the OBT, so it's not, everything is not, fully done that should be done as yet, because this is just released today and it's not yet done, working through and stuff like that. I went ahead and checked the fisherman's camp to see if there's anything new, and no, there's nothing new. It basically is just a regular zone, so I'll just leave here. All right, and this is the Temple of the Ancestors. So this is where you would bring the flowers to get yourself the season rewards, and also you do the side quest there to get the pet. And also there is another section where you could basically get the, that mask that the Shadow Master is wearing. You can also get that. That's like a skin, bro, so it kind of looks cool, I'm not gonna lie. So you could definitely get that, but it's not yet available in the game as yet, but you definitely see it right here. All right, let's go ahead and enter. All right, so this is the elder. Speak to the elder. All right, so after you finish speaking to the elder, then you'd have to speak to Yolda, which is the side quest. Hopefully I said her name correct. It's a little creature thing. So it basically tells you here the forest, children are asking humans for help, and you basically have to go to the zones to get the, find the flowers of life from the giant's forest or from the other zones. All right, so basically, as you can see here, at the end of the season, you get the moth for the witch doctor. Also, you get other side quest rewards, also legendary gears, well, multiple legendary gears. So this side quest is definitely worth it, bro, because you get pets, plus you get different legendary gears, which is the Elvian legendary gears, which are very good, bro. So I'll definitely recommend the side quests here. And yeah, basically you have to go to the forest and also open chests to get the tier, and also to get the tier from mob. Then you have to bring it. Pretty simple and easy. Just go to the grove, and then you'll get yourself the tier in the chest. Then bring the tier here to Yolda, and you'll then get the points for the side quests to then level up in the side quests to get yourself the legendary gears, and also the witch doctor pet, which is technically for free, so you don't want to miss any days to get a setback or anything. So you definitely need to do the side quests here. Yeah, so you have the small tier and the large tier. All right, so that would be Yoda. And oh, there is a chest right here that you have to check out. So in this chest, you basically get the skin here. It's currently not available as yet. It's the Shadow Master, the mask, the servant's mask. So when you add it to the character, it will then be inside your, the section where you have the different skins where you could basically add on. It will be there. I'll show you right here. So right beside the crown, the horns and stuff like that, you could definitely have that. As you can see, it looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. It's a skin basically, so it's something permanent. You can't lose it or anything. And yeah, I'm guessing they're not finished done with that, because basically when you put it on, you go bald and stuff. So maybe it will stay bald, I don't know, or maybe they'll make it applicable with here. But let me go ahead and also but I'm not gonna lie, the Shadow Master dagger is pretty OP. You basically, the more you use your shadow skill, you basically gain 35% movement speed. That is pretty cool. And you prevent your enemies from using the mount skill, from using potions, from even using the classes, and also, well, pretty much using anything, bro, or any PvP device like the hammers, bolas, or anything. It's pretty cool. It actually prevents your enemies for doing any form of attack in PvP with only 2 seconds, so it's not that much big of a deal. All right, so also here we have the medium flower of life. So this will basically be gained in the yellow location and also from the red location. You'd have to choose it from the altar. You basically have to choose, if you'd like to do the small one or the medium one. So the medium one is basically what gives you the blue flower, and that blue flower then you'd use at the Freya's Grove, and that's where you'd get that's where you use the flower to enter inside the grove. And also, just to let you guys know that you can also use the flower for season points, so you could basically just give the elder that flower, and then you'd receive season points to level up into the season. All right, so once you've entered into the Baldur's Cliff, you can go right to the middle, where there is where you'd find the altar. And also for the other zones, which is the yellow zone and also for the red zone, that is the zones that also have the altar, which gives different tier of rewards. So this is where you'll need to put the Sprout of Life. So basically you need that, which you'll get from mobs and also you get from chests, but mostly it is available in chests. So I'll definitely say to check in the chest to receive the Sprout of Life, and this is where you donate both. Then you'll get yourself the bag, which from that bag you can then get the flower that you'll need. Also, a side note, this is a green zone. There's no PvP, but what will happen is that once you enter the Sprout of Life here, basically you'd have to look around if there's any player, because they could basically take it from you and enter into the chest, enter into the altar at the same time and just take it away from you immediately. So you want to try to open it as fast as you can and also take it out before any other player that is close by, that they don't take it out. So you'd like to prevent that from happening. All right, and let me go ahead and also show you at the Forest of Shadow, which, as I said before, the altar is in the middle, or it's close to the edge, not technically at the middle all the time. So you can also check the edge of the zone. But once you go into the zone, you'd have to try to find the altar, which technically I would recommend you to go to the chest first to get the Sprout of Life, so that you could then donate to the altar to then receive a reward. Also, you need the blue bag in this location here. As you can see, I did receive myself a Sprout of Life. I'll call it a seed, bro. It looks like a seed. But yeah, you just go ahead and just put that into the chest. As you can see by the description here, it's basically saying that you can get it from killing mobs, or mobs are from the chest at any location, whether it be the red, yellow, or green zone. You can kill the mobs to get the rewards and stuff from, which is the Sprout of Life. All right, so basically after you've killed some of the mobs, you could definitely check, but me personally, I haven't seen any Sprout of Life in any mob. Mostly I have only saw it in the chest, which I'll show you what I'll do. Basically you need like 2 for the green zone, so I only have 2 at the moment, so I'll just bring it to the green zone, see what we get. All right, so this is the same zone. This is Forest of Shadow. This is the large altar of Freya. You could choose medium gift from Freya or the small tier of Freya. So once you choose, then it would just basically a great reward, or you'd have to place more stuff. So basically 2 sprout, or I'll just call it seed, basically 2 of that. And also you need the medium flower, you need 3 of that medium flower of life, which opening that bag you could then receive rewards and stuff. But you actually want to save it so that you could then offer it in the altar right here in the zone. All right, and also we have here the small tier of Freya, can be found in the chests or looted from the monsters in the Freya Grove. Yulda in the Temple of Ancestor will accept the Freya gift. So basically you'd have to bring it, the small tier, to the Yulda in the Temple of Ancestors, and she'll just accept it for the side quest, and that's how you then level up to get the rewards and stuff. All right, and once you have 2 spurs of life, you could basically just bring it to the green zone. The green zone requires less, so you could get your reward there. All right, so once you put it in the green zone, you then get yourself the bag. I'll just call it the bag. I don't remember what the name is. Give me a sec. Let me open the chest here and see. All right, so it is the small gift of Freya. You could basically use this one in the yellow zone with also the Sprout of Life. So basically once you bring the small gift of Freya, you could get that from the green zone. You get the green bag from the green zone once you give the Sprout of Life, and then you'd use that bag with, you need 2. So basically you need 2 of that to bring to the yellow zone. Then you get the medium bag, then you could get go on and so forth. And if you open it, you could then get yourself the flowers that you then bring to the Temple of Ancestors to then receive season points. So that's how it works, and that's how you level up in the season. All right, and as you know, in every season there is pros and cons. As you can see here, there's another player in the zone. This is the bad side for the season in the green zone. that artwork, bro, and he just dipped. He just took my stuff and dipped, bro. So you have to look around. If there is any player in the zone, they could take this stuff, man. Be vigilant in the zone, bro. Ensure that there's no player looking around or lurking in the bush or anything, because also you'd be in PvP zones. So the green zone, they could take it from you. I don't know if the devs will change that so that it is personal if you open it, which should be good. You know, if the devs are watching this, definitely make that change. And also with the yellow zone, there is PvP, so they can technically kill you and take your stuff. So hopefully they make it personal, because, you know, that's a lot of hard work. Some people are not looking for PvP. Then you could get PvP if you don't want PvP. And also for the red zone, which is a family zone only. So that is a next, you know, that's the next thing, man, because it's pretty hard. You'd have to be on with your family, which is fun to be on with your family and stuff. But for the yellow and green zone, you could technically lose your stuff. So, well, they could technically take your stuff in the green zone and PvP you in the yellow zone, take your stuff. So hopefully they made that change, that it is personal. All right, so, you know, I haven't checked out the Grove. In the next video, I'll definitely check it out and let you guys see how the zone looks and all that. You know, definitely smash like, smash subscribe. You can also comment down below if you think this season is good or not. Or you can also join the Discord server, link in the description below. Thank you so much, and peace.